Hi, welcome back. Well, you might not realise that in Australia, the second most spoken language at home, after English of course, is actually Mandarin. So yeah, in Australia we have a lot of people of Chinese descent, and to help us understand perhaps some really effective ways to reach these people with the gospel is Pastor Sammy Lee. Welcome.
Thank you.
I understand that you work with a lot of different cultural groups, don't you, and people from a lot of different religions.
That's right, yes.
And we're only talking about one small section of what you do today.
Okay.
But the fascinating thing that you've been telling me is how far back Chinese history actually goes. I mean, we all know it's ancient, but how far back?
Well, according to the Chinese historian, they had their was that the history starting in actually the year 2500 BC.
Wow. So just so that our viewers can get their heads around what that means,
yes.
What was happening in Bible times then?
In Bible time, according to Bishop Ussher, the very well accepted was the religious or Christian historian.
Yes.
The flood happened in the year 2348 BC, so that's only about 150 years different.
Before Chinese history kicks off.
So according to them, that is earlier 150 years. But for sure, they said that there was a kingdom already in China, 2205 BC,
okay,
which is 142 years after the flood. So
wow.
You see that is not contradictory to the Bible history.
Before Abraham, sometime between the flood and Abraham,
yes.
we have Chinese legend becoming Chinese history and recorded history, and we can start to
yes.
see reliable dates. Well, that's really old.
Yeah, it is old.
That is incredibly old. and are there legends and history from those times that sort of match up with stories that we read in the Bible or have some crossover?
Yes, they talk about their ancestor of the Chinese people or the Han people, which is actually they call the Yellow King. Huang Di means Yellow King or Yellow Emperor.
Okay.
And according to them, this Yellow Emperor was the ancestor of all the Chinese people.
Okay.
And so we studied about the characteristic and the life of these people described and the names of these people, we can see that it corresponds with the children of Noah.
Wow. That old.
Yes.
That's incredible. Now, so far as writing is concerned, I mean, obviously we know Hebrew
yes.
and, you know, Paleo-Hebrew is some of the earliest forms of writing. What about Chinese? Where do Chinese characters come from?
The Chinese character, according to the archaeological discoveries in a province called Anhui, there is now a museum of ancient arts, and it has been proven that characters must have started at the latest is an 1800 BC.
Wow.
Which is about the same time as the other ancient characters like Sumerian or Babylonian and Egyptians.
Wow, so when the cuneiform and the hieroglyphs
yes,
and all that
that's right, yes.
Chinese writing was coming...
The same character. They are actually a pictograph. They are drawings of simple things and stories, so it becomes the first communication, a way of communication between the people during those days.
Now, something really interesting that you've been saying, Pastor Sammy, is that these characters actually tell stories that even surprise Chinese people today about some of the stories they tell and how they cross over with the biblical narrative. Can you share just maybe 3 of those characters? We've got some paper here for you to do a little bit of Chinese writing for us.
Yes.
I'd be really interested to see how this works.
All right. Now, like for instance, the word, this one is word Chao.
Chao, and what does Chao mean? Sorry if I say Chao wrong.
Chao
Yeah.
is to create or to make.
Okay. Okay.
No.
So here we have Chao. Okay.
Yeah.
To create or make. So what's this made up of?
Now, this one is an abbreviation of breath.
Breath.
Yeah, breath or breathe, that is the same breath.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that one. And this one, sorry, it's not that one. This one is this is breath.
Okay.
And this one is earth.
Earth.
Earth, yes.
Oh, breath and earth.
Yes. Yes. And this
so
one
in
is
Genesis,
yes.
we have the story
Of creation.
that God formed man out of the
Yes.
dirt and breathed the breath of life.
And this one is a walking person. Can you see that? There's a
Oh,
head
yeah,
there.
there's
It's
a walking two legs.
Yes. So that means walking or moving.
Uh-huh.
So in other words, to the Chinese, the word create means earth
Yeah.
added with breath.
Yes.
It becomes a mouth. Mouth
Oh,
means
this square is a mouth,
It's
isn't
a
it?
mouth. You see,
And
which also means person.
yeah. So a mouth is a symbol for a person. Okay.
Yes. So he becomes a person that is moving right away, walking. That means there is animation there.
Wow. So God breathed the breath of life
Yes.
into
this
a man that
piece
he's
of earth, which is he made from the piece of
and
earth.
he made a living,
And he
walking
made
soul.
a walking.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That is amazing. Okay. Oh, you got another one for us?
Yes. All right. And then when and God created Eve,
Yes.
this one is a garden. Now look at that. That one is the earth, right?
Yes.
Earth. And underneath the earth is a mouth. Means become a person.
Uh-huh.
And that person is the first person. And from the side of the first person comes the second person.
From the side. So Eve being formed out of the rib of Adam.
That's right. And this one is Yuan. Yuan is meaning garden.
Garden.
Yes.
So the Chinese
Yes.
character for garden.
For garden is earth.
yeah.
Mouth means you become a human being,
Yeah.
or can also means that God uses mouth to create the first human being,
Yes.
and the second one coming from this side, and this is happening in the garden called the Garden of Eden.
So the Chinese character for the word garden has this Garden of Eden story in there.
That's right.
That's incredible. One more.
Yes. And then the devil comes to tempt them. God said, all right, look, that is 2 trees, right?
Two
In
trees.
the past, the tree is like that.
Yes.
Okay, there is the roots.
Oh, yes.
There's the
the
leaves,
branches,
and then
yes.
there's the bud going up.
Yes.
And that is the earth.
The ground,
Okay,
yes.
ground. So 2 trees, and underneath means Chin is to prohibit. Don't do this, don't do that. Yeah, okay, to prohibit.
Prohibit.
No smoking, no parking. They
Yes.
use this same character.
So in English we would use this.
That's right. Correct. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is 2 trees, and this is the character for God. 2 trees, God underneath it is the first prohibition. Don't eat that one.
Wow. So the tree of life, the tree of good and evil,
That's
knowledge
right.
of good and evil.
But then, what happened if you put like that? That is again the 2 trees.
Yes.
And underneath is a woman.
Uh-huh.
This is this means lan. Lan means greedy, covetous.
Greedy.
Yes. So that
So
is
you have the
Eve.
story of Eve.
It is the story of Eve.
Wow.
Looking at these 2 trees, God said, "Don't eat that one. You may
Okay.
eat this one." But he was so greedy. She wanted the one that is prohibited too.
Can we look at one more just before we finish?
Yes.
Salvation, I think, is one you really wanted to share with us.
Yes. So that was sin. Because
Yes.
of that sin, tempted by the devil, and so they have to die. But then, because sin, you see, transgression. So this one is lamb. This one is I or me. And that is ye is righteousness.
Righteousness.
Yeah.
So the Chinese character for righteousness includes a symbol of a lamb in it?
Yes, and this
Wow.
is amazing. It includes a lamb, and there is also a cross in it.
A
And-
cross, okay, a cross
yes.
and a lamb in the symbol for
Yeah,
righteousness.
yes. But here it is only a lamb. But there are two special characters that is talking about righteousness, about salvation, about Jesus, about his death, redeeming, all these things. But look at this. This word I or me consists of actually two parts. That one is a hand.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yes.
And this one on the right is an ancient spear or lance.
Oh, like a trident
okay?
sort of thing, yeah.
Right. So the lamb is killed to give us righteousness,
Oh.
and I am the hand that killed that lamb.
Wow. So this is like Jesus,
Yeah.
the holy Lamb of God,
Yes,
on
this
the
is
cross,
I
being speared with a
By
cross.
my sin.
But this character was actually invented before Jesus
This
died on the
was-
cross.
yes.
So it's actually
Far
prophetic.
before Jesus.
It's a
yes.
prophetic character.
Exactly,
Wow.
yes.
Look, that is really powerful. It's powerful for me, and I'm not a Chinese person, and I don't speak Chinese.
Yes.
How do Chinese people respond when you present some of these things to them?
Well, they are just, they could not believe, they are amazed, and if they are honest, then they have to realize. In the past, they always say that the Christianity is a foreign devil religion from
Yeah.
the West.
Yes.
But we prove it to them that no, your ancestors were the first ones before even Abraham in worshiping the Creator God.
Wow, wow. And they use the expression
Yes.
Shangdi from
Shangdi, yes.
ancient times, the Emperor
Yes.
of Heaven.
Yes, Shangti means the sovereign who is above. Ti is emperor, you see, and Shang means above. So he's the emperor above all others.
The king above
The
all
king
kings.
above all kings. Yes.
Well, those are incredible insights, just to see that the story of God, the story of Jesus is woven into, not just, Western history and culture, but also through Chinese, which we used to think of as being, very foreign and strange. Hey, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure our audience has really had their minds opened, about the way God's been working all
Yes.
through these
Yes.
centuries. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it,
It's
Pastor
my
Sam.
pleasure.
We'll be back straight after the break.